Hey, it's Chris. What are we doing today? Well, we are doing the Purge, right? 10 games that I think I'm going to get rid of. I don't think they're going to get played. I don't think they're going to be a good fit, and I just not sure how I feel about them as a whole anymore. So, well, do I regret them? Do I enjoy getting rid of them? Do I have bad feelings and bad memories? No, it's not necessarily even that. But let me run you through 10 that you're going to recognize and we're going to get rid of. So, you ready? Number 1. Let's just start right here. ISS Vanguard. I just can't do it. You know, the unboxing from a couple weeks ago, I just can't. It's too much to keep track of. It's too much of a space hog. It's too much of a literal space hog. Weird pun there because it's a game set in space. But it's also just a table hog. It's a time hog. It's a campaign hog. I can't do this anymore. I just can't. You know, I'm going to be very few, far, and selective nowadays on my campaign situations. And I think this one is going to just be cut right at the beginning here. Because just doing that unboxing made me go, good gracious, right? You know, there's a one thing to be said of like the $300 or $400 purges or games that fall flat, right? On those lists that you see that pop up on Reddit or Board Game Geek or Facebook or whatever social media situation it is, right? I regret your biggest crowdfunding, you know, like those sorts of things, right? And ISS Vanguard is up there. But it also makes me go on a list like this. What are the other ones? Like the $30 to $50 fails are just as painful sometimes because, you know, for every one of these, I have probably 5 of those, right? That adds up just as much. Is it a great game? I'm sure it is. Am I ever going to get played? No, I'm not. My kids aren't at that level. It's going to be years before they will. And I'd rather have the space and lose money on it at this point than keep it around and feel good about myself of saying, I'm going to get to that someday. No, I'm not. And I think I might regret it. I might. At the same time, folks, I don't think I will. I don't think I will. Because there's too many other good things that are still yet unplayed that I know that I will love. Things like this. Things like this that haven't gotten as much attention. Things like this that I just love and can't get enough of. And I can play those a lot easier than I can play that. And that's saying something. You know what? Let's go to number 2. Nah, just kidding. We're not getting rid of that. It's the one behind it. The even more ridiculous one. Nemesis, Lockdown. I had the OG, and I decided to, well, get rid of the OG, because second time around is better! 2.0! Easier to... Nope. 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 Is it better? Nah. Jury's kind of out on that one. Some from column A, some from column B. We got column C with Retaliation coming down the line. Maybe I'll pick up Retaliation. Again, this game personifies fiddly, right? Upkeep, just keeping track of stuff, rules, minutia. More of that, offering a more complete experience. A more complete experience that is never going to hit my table. 3 to 4 players, ideally, all the time that meta know this game and in and out, right? Have the stretch goal sitting right there too. I just can't. It's just not going to be a good fit with where my life is at this point. And so this is a game, this is probably the biggest game on this list that I know I would want to love, right? Think about that statement for a second. I said it. I stand by what I said. Not that I know I love, not that will be an awesome fit, not that it is playing with a group of, you know, great situational gamers right now. It's just, I want to love it, and I know I will want to love it, and I know I will maybe love it if I can. No, you just can't. And so I'm willing to take a loss on this one too, and just say, sayonara, see you later, right? Taking up way too much space in here, and I don't need any more of this. There's stuff that's easier, fitting to the table better, and just, you know, I want a game that I can pick up a month later and not have to, you know, spend 30 minutes trying to remember all the rules. I'm getting fewer and farther between of those games that I'm willing to do that with. And this is... it's too much of a good thing, I guess. Awakened Realms has given me too much of a good thing in every single game that I have bought from them. And some of you are going to look at that and say, Chris, that's great. You are getting your money's worth. No, I'm not. I'm getting my money's worth of stuff sitting in a box right here. I'm not getting my money's worth of a product I can enjoy. Yeah? That one probably hits a little bit too close for home for you guys in the comment section, right? I know it does me. That pains me to say that. This is a waste of my money. Just sitting on the shelf collecting dust. I'm a player, not a collector. You know, truth be told. So that's why Nemesis Lockdown, you know, see you later, right? Ease of access there to get rid of it from that side of things. So that one is gone. Next up, as we go back down here, Endless Winter. Endless Winter. You know, again, I think this is a fantastic game from Fantasia. But for right now, for all intents and purposes, Dune Imperium does everything I want out of a deck building and worker placement combination of a game. And Imperium Uprising, plus or minus the expansions with the original, both of those are a complete package for me. And as much as I like this game, I love Dune Imperium. And so I just don't know if I really have the priority, in this sense, to keep this one. Because if you ask me of the two of which I want to play, or if I want to play something of that ilk right now, it's always going to be the other. Nothing bad to say about this game, but it's always gonna be the other right now. And it's just gonna take priority in that sense. And so when it comes to that, how do you deal with that? At what point would you say that I want to play this one over the other one? You know, maybe if someone else in your group or my wife was like, ooh, I love this one over, but as the keeper of the keys and the collection, right, for the group and my family, you know, hate to say it, but my taste trumps over everybody else's right now. Like, I'm the one spending the time, effort, and energy to learn it, to get it played, to be able to get it to the table, to explain it, to buy it in the first place, or get it sent to me as a review copy, whatever it may be, right? Like, and so I'm going to trump over a few others in that sense. A few of the rolling rights that I've picked up over the, you know, couple years. My wife has been like, oh yeah, I kind of like that because she likes the overhead of rolling rights. And I've kind of said, sorry, honey, got rid of that. And, you know, got a couple, passed on a couple. And so this is sort of that ilk of, you know what, I'm just going to have to say sorry to some good games too. Sorry to good games because, again, I want to get them played. And if it's got a direct head-to-head competitor in terms of similar overlap, again, maybe not for everybody, right? Like, I know plenty of these games as well, cooperatively, that I feel like I can have side by side, simultaneously. But if it's not one of my most favorited mechanics, like the cooperative Pandemic style, right? Where I'm okay with, you know, 17 different flavors of Baskin Robbins, then I'm going to be a little more selective because I'm going to play them less overall, which is going to lead them to not getting played if it's the competitor, essentially. And that's where Endless Winter, unfortunately, is falling for me. So again, nothing bad, but just not. Now the next one, some of you guys are going to go, what? Just pump your brakes for a second. I have this, I have the Alchemist expansion, right? And it's all fitting nicely in this box. This is not going anywhere. But stupidly, I ended up math trading, I don't know, like probably 9 to 10 months ago on Board Game Geek, which I've never had good luck from the math trades. I always end up with something that I kind of sort of want, but not actually like fully really want. And I ended up with the big box of this, which is just horribly oversized and unwieldy and just too big for what it is. It was like they said, let's make the big box literal. And instead of actually just the, you know, content. And so peace out. See you later. Extra copy of a game that I already own is freaking awesome. So that's about all I can say about Quacks. It's a great freaking game. Love it. Family loves it. Kids love it. Everybody loves this game. It's freaking sweet. But the other version just has to go. But the other version just has to go until I knock over more games. Now, I didn't pick up the full game, but we're going to talk about this one because I've been sort of, you know, forgetting about this one. Right? I got the collector's edition. Hamburg! Bruges remake, right? The Feldian Euro game. I don't like it. I don't like it. I thought I was going to like it. I thought I was going to like it a lot. It's the only one I went after. I just don't like it. the Deluxifications are just not helpful, unnecessary. I just don't like them. I mean, I can see why people like it as a, midweight Euro. It's a classic redone version, and I think things are split. Some people like the newer version better, some people like the older version with the expansion City on the Zwin that you can't get. And, I can see what the appeal is. At the same time, peace the F out, man. I'm done. Storms. Frack, right? Whatever sort of pseudo cusses I want from fantasy to use. It's not me. I do not enjoy it. It's swing in the miss there. I'm going to lose money on it, but I just want it gone. Just want it gone. It's a game I look at as a failure of my ability to get a game that I thought I would like, right? And that one hurts in a different way, right? Where you swing and you miss when you think it's just going to be a smashing, outstanding success. And speaking of that one, right? Pandemic Legacy Season 1. It's in shrink. I'm not going to get it played. I don't know what to say, right? Like, I just talked about how much I love this stuff. Legacy's just not for me, I think I've realized as a whole. I like the theoretical. I have yet to find one, and I'm willing to be convinced otherwise. I've yet to find one that I have really, 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 really enjoyed the process. And I guess maybe I'm just not one of those people. And so I'm still chasing the dragon with this one. And truth be told, it's still in shrink because I'm scared to open it, because also the trade value goes down significantly, or the value, whatever. But as long as it's unplayed, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But I'm just look at this and I go, this is a pipe dream for like me and the wife and 2 kids to be able to play this all the way through. So can I keep this in shrink for the next 5 years? Sure. Totally could. I could sell it for $25 locally though and just get rid of it too. Guess which one's going to happen? Because again, like, I want to love this one, and I will love it. But is it worth it now? Again, I'm not just keeping this stuff to store, because this room is getting fuller and fuller, and I keep getting rid of stuff, and it still just gets fuller and fuller. And that's not the purpose of this. I do not want to be that person. I would love to get rid of half of these games, period, in this room. And these are the ones that I'm going, okay. Because again, like, some games you just can't get rid of, right? Some games it's goodwill or good luck, right? Because even if you price them appropriately, like the $20 game for $5, if there's just no demand for it, nobody's going to get rid of it, folks. Nobody's going to get rid of it for you. So you just have to be aware of that one. This one, again, speaking of demand and trade value, this one's going to have it too, right? These are not just games I'm going, no one's going to want these. I just want to get rid of these, right? That's a really easy video to make. Like, these are great games, some of them. Masters of Respect. Someone picked this up at a convention for me and muled it back locally. And it's a hard to get out of print Japanese game, which has a pseudo worker placement, train your disciples and bring them to your dojo, essentially, with a very different vibe. The mechanics are unique. It plays 3 to 5, though. Super difficult to sort of get into. It's a fantastic game, but again, the dynamics of it being so different and the just feasibility of it, 3 to 5 is an odd, because 3 doesn't really work as well. You really need 4 or 5 with this one. And I know this is sought after by a lot of people. Like, I'll probably get 1 or 2 of you in the comment section saying, hey, Chris, you know what? I'm take Master of Respect, right? It's a great game. It's a great game. And it's one of those indie Japanese ones from Hobby Japan that just hasn't made its way over to North America. And as soon as it does, with that and Rumble Nation, people are going to be all over this one like hotcakes. But for me, right now, I just can't do it. I just can't get it played. And it's just not happening. And so I'd rather just give it to someone where they can give it a good home and get it played a bunch, instead of it sitting on my shelf collecting dust. Then, the remake from WizKids, Princes of Florence. Again, I think this is a fine game. But my recent reviews in the last year of Ra, as well as even the more recent Medici, just replace it for me. Ra is an all-time great game for me. Ra is probably a top 25 game for me, if not higher. Probably higher, but I just haven't formally ever done those things. And Medici is just shorter and easier overhead. Princess of Florence is nice, but it's sort of a combination of Medici and World Wonders. And I like World Wonders for the tile placement. I like Medici for the sort of bidding. And this one does both of them, but it makes it a lot longer and there's a lot more components and a lot more overhead. And I don't really do that as well, I've found. I like the shorter, sweeter auctioning. I just got Skyrise in the mail this past week. I am super excited. That has real Game of the Year potential. Like top 10 list, period. And so this is just being edged out. It's a fine game. WizKids did a great job with reprinting this and putting it out there for a wider available market. But it's just the tiles, the decks, the mitigation, the points, the outdoing the previous round sort of cycling that you're having to go through in order to get big, get and build and bigger. It's just more of that. And for me, less is more with those types of mechanics. So again, Princess of Florence, fantastic game, but you know what? Peace out. See you later. The other one sitting right down here. I think I just got to do it. Marvel Zombies. Peace out. See you later. Peace out. See you later. I just can't get it played. I just can't get it played. I thought zombie side in general was going to be easier for me to get to the table, and it just hasn't been. It just hasn't been. Again, this is probably the potentially highest one, apart from like Pandemic Legacy on this list, that I could see myself keeping. Not because I can't get a good... I made Godzooks amount of money on this game comparatively to everything else on this list, right? The Kickstarter box alone is going to get me twice my pledge value, probably. I don't know what it's selling for. I'm just making that up facetiously, but I'm not going to lose money on this one. So I could hold on to this and probably make more. But I just want it gone too. Like, I just want space. I want peace of mind. I want space in my head, knowing that I'm just not hoarding them over myself, essentially creating this shadow of what if, Chris? What if? And again, like, my kids haven't expressed a lot of interest. We got Marvel Dice Throne, we got Marvel Legendary, we've got Marvel United. And so I look at this and I go, you know, cool, freaking sweet, awesome. But you know what? Those are, whip them out on the table and play them really quickly, and kids knowing them, and 8-year-old handling it, 10-year-old handling it, 3-year-old watching. This is a lot more than that. This is a lot more involved. My kids can't do 60 to 90 minutes right now. And they probably will be able to in a couple years. So maybe I'd pick it up again then. But for a game that's supposed to be so beer and pretzels, as I often see it referred to, right? It's so easy to get to the table, Chris, comparatively. Still, the benchmark is too high for a lot of other things comparatively now. There's still too much rules overhead. There's still too much, line of sight stuff, or actionability systems, or this difference here, or that rules interpretation there. And so from those reasons, it's just not where it needs to be fit-wise right now. And so I'm half happy, half having separation anxiety, even talking about it from that aspect. So, that has to be mentioned. Two others, Ragnarocks, which is still sitting behind me here, which, you know what? I did this in the beginning of the year, January, right? I said, I'm going to get rid of this game, and I just, again, can't get it played. Can't get it played. I'm looking at getting Santorini again over this. This is the Santorini, alternative when it was sort of on crowdfunding. And I look at this and I go, I don't know. I don't really like the design, the plastic on the inside. I like the non-3D element. I think my wife likes that a little bit better. But I just kind of want the Santorini of the old, even if it's something I can't get played. Just like abstracts. And this has not been a good abstract to me. I don't know why. Again, just swing and miss. Swing and miss. This should be an absolute hit for me. And something is just missing. Something is missing. Can you put your finger on it always? No, you can't. You just don't have the fun that you thought you were going to have. And the powers and the spatial arrangements, it should have all of the... I love asymmetry. I love take that head to head. I love abstract in nature in general on a board. But there's just something that has my heart just wondering what's it missing. And so again, of all the other abstracts I have, why? And so for that reason, it's gone. And then last up, I think this is one extra too. I'm not even counting at this point. I think there's 11 now. can't even get this box to the table here. Edge of Darkness. AEG. John DeClaire. What Mystic Veil was supposed to be, right? The Mystic Veil penultimate game of what they wanted, that card laying, sort of translucent plus worker placement with cube falling combination, right? Before the Pirates one came out. And got a couple expansions. All in all, probably a well-received game overall. But I can't sell it for the life of me. I've been trying to sell that one for a year or two, at least. It's a big box. It's unwieldy. Heavy setup, teardown, overhead. And I just found out that that's just not the combination of things I like. I like the Tower Cube. It's a great in theory. I like the, card laying and the creation from that aspect. It's great in theory. In quick, easy, very high turnaround games. But in longer, more drawn out situations with that much stuff to deal with, I'm also happy just to be done with it as well. So I have no problem saying goodbye to that one. It's just that, I keep tossing it out there and it keeps coming back in like a boomerang. So there you go. 10 plus 1, I guess. Games that I am want to get rid of actively. Big names, again. Because, I could pull out 10 small box games that you've never heard of, or 10 small games that you'd have no interest in whatsoever. So this isn't just me, putting content out there for the sake of content. This is like me saying, okay, look, these games are freaking big name ones that you'd know that I just go, can't do it. See you later. Peace out, man. So you in my boat, you in my shoes. Or you know what? You just say, you know what, Chris, I'm okay with keeping it and, keeping it on the shelf and having it collect dust, and I'm okay with that, man. I have no problem with that. You know what? For a long time I do too, and for a lot of stuff I do. At the same time, with more and more stuff getting sent to me as a channel, with more and more stuff just not having the turnaround, not going anywhere, just too many good, really good games even, like very good games, and not like too many amazing games, I have to draw the line somewhere. And this is where it is, purging wise. So there you go. As of now, that's where things are at. My kid, my 10-year-old, right? Not my 8-year-old. My 10-year-old scored 5 goals today in soccer. All of a sudden, 4th grade, the kid has bloomed. Like, all of a sudden, we're like, the kid who, before this, hasn't played soccer competitively in like a year and a half, decided he wanted to play this spring. And first game out there, and granted, the team is not good. The team he went up against is not good. But he has all of a sudden gotten a ton better. And so now we're kind of like, is he going to want to play more? Like, should we actually have him at a little bit of a higher competitive level? It's Overreaction Saturday is what this is going on to, right? Armchair quarterbacking, if nothing else. But we'll see how the rest of the season goes, because if it does, he's going into 5th grade next year. And 5th or 6th grade, I think they start school soccer maybe. So, unexpectedly super happy about that. And I guess, let's be honest. I could care less about the 5 goals. The kid is freaking happy. He's really happy playing. That, if you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. That's what you get on this channel at the end of random videos, folks. And that's why some of you subscribe to me, because you know what? I'm a consumer like you guys. And I don't want to forget that. Don't let me forget that. Help me help you. There you go. Subscribe if you want. Made it this far. Somehow you're not. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed, you're either going, he is freaking crazy, like block his channel, or yeah, he's hitting some keynotes. I'm in. Are you in? Hit me up down below. You know the deets. Peace out. Stay classy.